I had 4 faceless YouTube channels, a channel manager in place, a team around me, and I got it all down to 2 hours a day from my side. And that felt like a real win. But there was always one thing I couldn't hand off, the ideas. Finding the next video that would actually perform, the next angle, the next topic. I tried giving it to the channel manager. To be honest, it didn't work as well as I wanted, because I seemed to know my niches better, and usually for videos to outperform, it was in the small details. So I took it back and thought, can I train AI to maybe do this backed on large amounts of data? And slowly, one by one, I moved things over. Scripts, research, thumbnails, trend analysis. Almost the entire creative process running on AI. And cost dropped by 60%, but performance stayed solid. On paper, everything was working. And then one day I just sat with it and I thought, is this empty efficiency? Is this actually what I built? And that question changed everything. Here's the thing about YouTube that most people never really sit with, or maybe never really want to know. It's a joint venture. You bring the content, YouTube brings the audience. Sounds fair, right? But your partner controls the distribution. Your partner controls the RPM. And of course, you know all these rules up front, and you can optimize everything on your side. But the ceiling is still not yours to control. So what do we as YouTubers do? We optimize for the algorithm. We track CTR, average view duration, retention, and look, these metrics are real. They tell you something true. But what do they actually measure? They measure human behavior, how people decide to click, where they stop watching. The algorithm reads this behavior and decides what to push. So you optimize for the behavior, the algorithm responds. That part made sense. But here's what I kept missing, the people behind those signals. Let me explain. You probably know this graph. This is how people watch your content. It drops here, and this 30-second retention is really important. Then it holds, and then it falls off there. You could argue that this is actually a graph of real human behavior. The algorithm doesn't dictate this. This is what people do. Now ask yourself, what's the actual value of each person on this curve? In ad revenue, fractions of a cent. But what if that same person was on your email list? What if they bought a course from you? What if they booked a one-on-one session with you? The graph looks the same, but the value is completely different. And here's what I start to realize. We think we're building a channel, but we're actually kind of feeding a machine. The machine gives you enough to keep you going, to justify the business model, but it doesn't give you something that actually is yours, that you own. Let's talk about revenue. YouTube's revenue split for long-term videos is 55% for you, 45% for YouTube. And that sounds almost fair because you put in all the hard work to make the video and YouTube brings in the distribution. Now look at what YouTube keeps on top of that. 100% of this audience is from YouTube actually. The subscriber relationship is managed by YouTube. So the financial split, that's close. But the only split, it's not even close. You could even argue that when someone subscribes to your channel, they're not subscribing to you. They're subscribing to YouTube. YouTube knows who they are, and YouTube knows how often they watch. But what do we as creators know about these individual people? Close to nothing. If YouTube decides tomorrow to show your content to fewer people, there just is no backup. There's no switch to flip, no other way to reach them. When I sat down, I had millions of views and I realized I still owned nothing. So what's the answer? It's not to leave YouTube. YouTube is a great platform. It's the most powerful distribution tool I've seen and I love it. The answer is to stop treating it like the whole business. You build more layers underneath the YouTube top layer. So YouTube stays at top. And every video is doing one job, moving the right people to the next layer, your email list. And this email list sends them probably a range of emails. When someone moves from your channel to your email list, something changes. you now have a direct line to them. There's no algorithm, no platform risk. You write an email, it arrives. And from the email list, you can build an offer, a course, digital product, group program, maybe even coaching if that suits you. Whatever fits your model and your life. YouTube feeds the list feeds the offer. Every layer below a YouTube video is something you actually own. Each layer below your videos is something you actually own. And each layer reduces the risks from the one above. If you're watching this and wondering where you actually stand right now, I built a free tool for that. 5 questions. It shows you exactly where you are in this model and what to focus on next. A link is in the description. Here's what changed for me. When I stopped optimizing for the algorithm, the ideas for my videos, they stopped feeling empty. Not because the making of videos got easier, but because they came from somewhere real. When the content comes from your actual experience, your perspective, what you've built and what went wrong, it doesn't drain you the same way. But there's more than just the energy part. A core unlocks monetization paths that just a YouTube video for the masses never could. Because different cores attract different audiences. And from that core, you build your unique messaging, attracting people via search intent to your videos. The good thing is, every audience has different needs, different problems, and different willingness to pay. From your core, you can run multiple layers at the same time. Free content with real value builds trust and reach. Your email list converts the trust into warm leads who, for example, like to work with you on a one-on-one or buy a course if you build one. All of it feeding from the same email list source. None of it dependent on a single platform. And when the web changes again, new platforms come, new formats, you don't start over. You adapt to what works best for you. There's no need to change the foundation. Every business needs to be able to adapt. But with a core like this, you can adapt rather easily without losing yourself. Finding your core is hard. It took me months to find mine. If you want to find out what your core actually is, the free Creator Clarity tool in the description is the place to start. A shortcut to give you a clear direction in 5 questions. And for some of you, if you're further along the way and feel like you just want to talk to me and see if I can help you find your core, just like I did with other clients, open the tool, pick the 3rd option. That's a direct booking for a one-on-one with me. I can only take a handful of these at a time because the work is specific to you. But finding your core and building your specific model is where I do my best work. Finally, if you want to dive deeper into what a core actually is, why most creators don't even have one, and how to start building yours, that video is right here.